Welcome back to Tea and Poetry. This will be episode 5 now. This is the workshop episode. Now, to drink, I have a Salty Mind Boost Plus Super Shot, which is expired, but I'm still gonna drink it. Don't even worry. It's been in the fridge, so. It claims to have ceremonial grade matcha and holy basil and caffeine. That's the one thing about this that I believe. Let's give it a taste. This is not bad, honestly. Does it probably say some things? Yeah. Does it taste bad? No. I think I'll just jug it down, though. They make the hole so small that I can't really take it like a shot. The whole point of the shot glass is that you can tip it back all at once. I've got a shot glass mini measuring cup that I keep near my desk. Maybe I'll just pour it into that. There we go. Now, let's get to work. So just earlier today, I began working on a new fiction piece, and I'm trying to figure out where I'd like to go with it. It has to do with statistical manipulation and how we frame things and how few people actually care to look into the inner workings. Now, I've got the first few chapters done, but now I'm at a point where I'm trying to decide where I'd like to go next. And there's a few options here. And that's sort of what I'll be thinking about when I'm working on some poems here. We're of course going to work on standalone poems, but in the back of my mind, I'll be thinking about how I can improve this story. I also have watched 2 movies recently. I watched The Social Network yesterday, which Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails and Atticus Ross, who's his companion in that for movies, did an amazing job with the soundtrack. And then I watched The Firm, which is based on a John Grisham book, with Tom Cruise in it. And it was honestly not that bad. The tough thing about watching movies made after books for me is what I imagine the characters looking like in my head versus how they end up looking. Because I was expecting more grandpa-like characters than more gruff characters when it came to many of the members of the firm in The Firm. And that happens a lot with me if I know the book or I've read the book before I see the movie. If it's the other way around, then I just imagine the movie characters as who the characters are. So maybe that's something we could focus on for one of the poems. We'll start off with the topic of movies. Specifically the movies I just watched. So we'll start off with 2 big words. We'll do law and computer. And then below that, I'm going to draw a sort of branching out flowchart off of each word. And we'll see where we get from there. So, law, we can think of rule, right, wrong, morality, pain, money, suits. For computer, we can think of sets, organized, chips, typing, code, expensive. If this was a Venn diagram, expensive would be directly in the center, and organized would be very far very far away from the law. And then rule would actually be in both, because there are sorts of rules in both, despite how abstract math can get. So now that we've got some words here, we can think of how these might coincide. Now you can write something along with me here. Mine's probably not going to be the greatest, since I'm just tossing it out there right now. There won't be too much revision here. So why don't we think of... Ooh, okay, that's a connection here. There's that Mike Rafey guy on YouTube. He does those YouTube shorts about the law, and I remember he had been talking about a Harding and Mazzotti case, and they're a sort of local law firm, and how there had been an association, alleged, between AI usage and the law firm, and how people are trying to use AI as their lawyer. So, I think that's something we could talk about for the poem. I think that's a connection between computer, law, and, in a way, diminishing returns, and I think I can swing poetry. So. We'll start with just some abstract philosophical ideas, such as there's a reason that law and order are considered separate things that aim for a common goal. Law is up for interpretation. Order is order. It is concrete. So if we bring something that is of only order, it actually brings disorder to law because it removes the ability for interpretation. Without the ability to interpret things, the law becomes concrete. And then it's just order. It's not law at all. There'd be no reason for lawyers. It would just be judges. So we can go off of that. Though we often frame laws as things as though they are final, and theories as things that are up for interpretations, which is often strange because a lawyer is not a perfect being, nor is any law really. I'm getting too far off topic here. Let's get back to it. We'll do a simple rhyme scheme sort of thing. The AI does the work for free, less than half what the lawyer quoted me. This one is done. This one's just silly. Let's walk through it. The AI does the work for free, less than half what the lawyer quoted me. And half the time the AI takes, people approach my home with stakes. Whoever thought it could be that a misdemeanor would be tried for the death penalty. It's pretty simple. It's just an A, B, B, A. Penalty, B, me, free are all of our A lines, and then takes and stakes are our B lines. It's a very short one, but I feel like it's a good one. I feel like it well captures what we're looking for there. And I'm sorry to leave you in the silence with the occasional but verbalizing the thought process as it's happening, I try my best to do. I'm no professional podcaster, though. My literary skills are more what I'm apt to. Though, that one's... Let me fix the grammar on this, actually. There we go. Because I had wrote approached, even though I meant approach, and I verbalized approach. Let's do another one, though. Let's focus just on... I'm remembering a poem that I wrote for a comedy competition about a dog who wears suits, and I think I can recite it word for word from memory. But we don't have time for that right now. Someone remind me. Myself remind me another time. Let's do another poem. You know, I am all out of my special juice, and that's okay. We'll just do another poem without any special juice. Let's just get this next one going, though. I'm thinking I'll do this one on how people prefer to keep others' mouths shut when they're talking about legal matters. NDAs to all sorts of other things, or just stay out of it and let your lawyer do the talking. This one should be pretty simple, because we have morality, and I'm going to make up some words for this. We'll do, you need not concern yourself with the verbality of legality, nor to bore your pretty mind with ponderings of wrong, right, or ideas of morality. You should just be a sweet little citizen and keep your mouth shut. And sit behind your lawyer with his fat gut. That, I feel like, encompasses my feelings on the legal system largely. Just take a step back, let someone else do the talking. You are too stupid to understand the legal system. You're too stupid to bore yourself with studying. You need to leave it to us with our big bellies. Now, there are quite a few lawyers that I respect and think are pretty great, though I do feel like in the scientific field, within the artistic field, there's always those gatekeepers that want to keep people down and out. I know a lot of them. I'm friends with some of those people, unfortunately, and I try and convert them day by day, but it's a tough gig. But that's how it goes. Now that's 2 down. I feel like we could do maybe one more, and then that might be what I have time for today. I have gotten a couple ideas, actually. For this last one, and apologies for the static throughout this, my microphone stinks at this point. When there's so much static around me, it just catches on the mic. We're going to do this one on setting things up. And I can probably just do this one in my head. To set something up on a computer is a good thing. To be set up by a lawyer could be a good or a bad thing. To set yourself up is usually for success. To get set up is usually for the opposite. How does this happen? That one phrase could mean so much. The thesaurus, that's how. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to make myself some tea. Ironically, after tea and poetry is over for the day. Hope you enjoyed this one. It's a little less structured than usual, but we'll be back to the normal structure later on. And I'll do some more literary magazine reading, because I have some other copies of other literary magazines, and then I do have to get through more of Poets of 2002 later. Thanks for listening. Listen to the other ones if you haven't already. Bye-bye.